Welcome to the SoapUI tutorial session 3. So in this tutorial, we'll be going through the different type of assertions and checkpoint in SoapUI. Okay. So let's get started. So this is the request that I have sent, and this is the response I have got. And to validate whatever the exact request I've got or not. Uh, so for that, I need to provide some checkpoint. Okay. So to verify this, if it is coming properly or not, we need to put some assertions. Okay. The response is coming properly or not. So for that only we need assertions, and in SoapUI we can create the assertions. This is like in the request below options, below the request option, we can see the assertion list option is there. Just click on that. Click on the plus button if you want to add the assertions. And this is the assertion window. If you check the hide discussion, all the discussion will be hidden. Check it for now. Recent use, it will contain all the assertions that are currently used. Assertion can be several types. Property content should use this contains, not contains, XPath match, XQuery match, and the JSON is for the REST protocol, and some assertion will be eligible for license version only. Okay. In the compliance status and standard, we can have HTTP download all resources, invalid HTTP status code, SOAP not false, schema compliance, SOAP false, SOAP frequency, and valid HTTP status code. And security status, web service addressing responses for web service security testing will be doing for SoapUI, then we'll be using that. Okay. Script assertion will be doing for Groovy. I'll come to it later. Response SSL assertion, it will check that the response the request I have sent and the response it got the time and durations between it. Okay. If it is I have to provide some limit. If it is crossing my limit, then it will fail the test. Okay. Similarly, for JMS, for Java Message Service, and for security, we need to include this one sensitive information disclosure. So it's applicable for REST, SOAP, and HTTP test set. So suppose the response is containing some security information, and I don't want this particular security information to be displayed, so I can put the security sensitive information disclosure. Okay. So let us put one by one. So for coming to the compliance assertions, valid there's a not so false. Let me add it. Can be added once. Okay, so SOAP response, this already I've added. It will check on the response I've got, the XML response is proper or not. Okay, it will check. So the response is proper, so it's showing as a valid. Schema compliance, that we can see is validated that the last received message compliant to the associated WSDL file or WADL schema definition. WSDL for SOAP and WADL for REST. So it validated the received message is compliant or not. So it's compliant with the WSDL, so it's showing as a valid schema compliance. Then not SOAP fault, but if there is no SOAP fault, so it will by default will be valid. If there is anything fault happens, so it will come as a error. The validity of the last received message is not a SOAP fault, so it's not SOAP fault, it's a valid. Applicable is for SOAP request. Okay, and then valid HTTP status code. It will check whatever the request I have sent for the status code is successfully generated or not. So if we check the header options, we can see that the status containing HTTP 200. 200 means okay. Or else if we go to the raw options, we can see the response is 200. So it will simply check the valid HTTP status code. If you click on that, we need to provide the code I want. If I provide 200 code, so it's coming. So it's showing there's a valid HTTP status. So it's a valid SSL. If I prove it's like 300 for redirection, so 404 or suppose 404 error, then it will show as a fail response. It was expecting 200, it was expecting 404, but is I'm getting 200, so it is not acceptable list of status. So this is the that you can put here. Okay, so this way you can put the HTTP SSL. Okay, accordingly we have other options in opposite to that. We can provide some invalid HTTP status code. This is just exact opposite to it. Invalid HTTP status code. Suppose 200, it should fail the script. Suppose for this request, I don't want 200. Okay, and I put the 200 as the invalid status code. So if the response is showing 200, it should fail. So see, for invalid estimate error code, I have given as a 200 code, it is failing. If I provide as a 404, then it should pass. So difference between the valid HTTP error code, that we need to provide the whatever the valid HTTP code I'm expecting, and the actual result. It should match, and it will give us the options that is valid or not. Okay. So I have to mention the valid code only. For invalid, I have to provide 404 303 this way. I mean. One thing you can see, the comma separated options not acceptable, so uh, you have to check for different things, like for 303 you have to check. So you have to provide all the invalid status code. Okay, so only that case, if it is not coming in the response, then only it will pass. Okay? If you provide, I have to provide this way. um, Comma separated not acceptable status code, so better to put it single only. We can just use the valid or on only for the single wall that I'm expecting. The next thing is that we'll be using the property content, the content. So okay, so file already created one content assertions, so don't need that. Keep cancelling that. This content assertion, it will simply check the response content. Okay, the response is currently is 12. Currently is 12. If I click on that, ignore case in comparison. This is for string only. Regular expression you can use for check this for regular expressions. The content is 12. I'm expecting. So it's showing us 12. It's valid. If I provide content is 13, it should fail. Why? Missing token 13 response. So I'm expecting 13, but I got 12. So it will fail the script. Okay. You can use the regular expression also for regular expressions. This is the regular expressions. For digit, we can do this way. If it is one digit, one or more digits, so just this is the regular expression for representing a decimal number. And one more thing, if you are using, so also you have to mention this way, the question mark s dot star dot star. That's simply question mark. It simply means the white space headline. Okay. So for any string or a decimal number evaluating, make sure you have to use that. And what about the what about the regular expression? Put inside the dot star. Okay. So this is a regular expression I'm expecting. Clicking on OK. The assertion is showing it's a valid. Okay. It's valid. So in opposite to it, we are already having the not contest assertions. Not contest just opposite that we already added the not contest. No need to add. So not contest assertions we can check. It should not contain the value 10. If I provide as a 12, it will fail the script. Why? I don't. I have put it here. It should not contain 12, but it's containing 12. So it should fail the script. It is for just checking the negative scenario of the content. It's just opposite to the content. Okay. Just put any value apart from 11. So 11 is not counting in my response. It will pass. It will pass. Okay. That is pass successfully. And if any assertion fail, the test script will fail. Okay. And okay. And one more thing, the SL assertions script assertion will come later. SL assertions. The response, it will validate the last received response time within the defined time limit. Just check. Oh, okay, I have already added it. Response assertions. Just you have to provide the time limit. If you provide 200 millisecond, let's see. So let's see, it did not meet. It's showing SLA is failing. Why? You check the SoapUI log. Let me run it again. So we can see it took 1906 milliseconds. So its rate indicating it's failed. Why? 1906 milliseconds the response took this amount of time, and I'm expecting within this time it should provide the response. That's why it's failing. If I provide the response 1000 millisecond, I mean 2 second, then see it is working fine. Let me just process it again. So it's working fine now. Okay, so this way guys we can put several types of assertions and we can check what about the response content is proper or not. And one more thing, the security assertion sensitive information disclosure, this is a simple script, we don't need it, but let me show you. If you this here was to, this is similar, this will be similar for the content assertion only. If we add it, we need to add token. Support token, I'm adding mm, mm, change like Aditya. This is the token. Description, I'm put anything by just put uh, okay. So we can see it's showing that it's uh, it's a valid assertion. Why? Because changeling either is not. This is the thing is missing. It's not displaying. So this is the sensitive information that is not getting displayed here. But let me put it this way: sense length, change length, unit, result, value 12. Suppose this is a sensitive part. I do not want this to be displayed. So see, sensitive information result is failed because it is displaying. Okay, this token is displaying. So this is simply content, just like contents we can put this, but it will be mainly used for uh, when we'll be performing the security testing, then we'll be using this. Okay, so we don't need this as of now, remove it. Okay, and one of the most important things is that we are having these assumptions, XPath and XQuery and Groovy. I will come to it later in my next series. I will cover the XPath assumption in details. Okay.